black suits, inhuman eyes, and a secret, possibly unearthly agenda. They are the Men in Black.
They show up in the dead of the night, and they don't take no for an answer.
For decades, UFO experts and abductees have reported the strange appearance of ominous investigators after alleged UFO sightings. Their stories are virtually identical.
These sinister figures have been dubbed the Men in Black on the basis of their smart black clothing. Men in Black have been seen traditionally traveling either in pairs or in threes. Men in Black apparently visit some UFO witnesses, themselves clad in black, very smartly dressed, rather like the old image of an FBI G-man.
Oftentimes the witness hasn't told anybody about their experience, so it's kind of strange that these guys show up without any provocation or invitation.
Tonight, we uncover the real story and expose incredible evidence that puts you face to face with the most infamous men in UFO history. Join us as the mystery of the Men in Black is unsealed. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed. Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. The Men in Black. Their existence was made famous by films starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as comic, alien-fighting secret agents. But reports of real-life encounters with these shadowy figures tells a very different tale from the Hollywood legend.
When Hollywood portrays Men in Black, especially in the movies, they're kind of comical. However, from the reports that I've seen regarding actual Men in Black visitations, they're a lot darker than that. They're more mysterious. They're very scary. They're very threatening looking, and they're nowhere in comparison to what Hollywood portrays them to be.
Investigator Antonio Perez should know. Founder of the Aerial Phenomenon Investigations Team, or API, he has been studying real-life cases of the Men in Black for over 10 years. The Men in Black he has studied are well known in the UFO community. They are feared as ominous inquirers and silencers of UFO witnesses ever since their first known sighting in 1956.
Men in Black reports were first popularized in Gray Barker's 1956 cult classic book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers.
The book recounts shocking UFO encounters from Brush Creek, California to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Even documents on file with the FBI recount Barker's book and the interest surrounding 3 men in black suits who reportedly silenced journalist Albert Bender.
Albert Bender was a researcher of UFO phenomena. He received a case file of an alien abduction. And when he went to publish his article about that abduction case, he got a visit from some pretty angry Men in Black.
Bender was only days away from publishing his story when his visit from the Men in Black occurred. While Bender never disclosed exactly what happened, he also never published the abduction report. Whether they were government agents is unknown, but this 1954 document from the FBI vault does name Albert Bender as a person of interest. Since this report, Men in Black accounts have surfaced all over the world, and they are always uniform in description.
Men in Black have a very particular appearance. They're always immaculately dressed. They're always, of course, in black. Sometimes they'll be very robotic in their movements. Often they'll refer to each other, not by names, but by numbers.
These silencers, as some call them, frequently appear days or even hours after a UFO sighting is reported. According to accounts, they approach witnesses while they are alone, often in the dead of night.
When witnesses are visited by Men in Black, oftentimes it's a very intimidating meeting. They're interrogated, they're made to feel scared either for their lives or for their safety, and they usually stop talking about whatever it was they saw after the Men in Black leave.
The Men in Black are often reported to arrive in unmarked black cars, or sometimes in an even more intimidating vehicle.
Witnesses often claim that the Men in Black show up in black unmarked vehicles. They also have been known to be in black unmarked helicopters, and they just seem to hover there for several minutes, kind of surveying the person and the area.
While it may be clear that these investigators want to silence the truth about UFOs, the biggest mystery is who these beings are.
Many people believe there's a government conspiracy, that the truth about the UFO phenomenon is being kept from the public. They see the men in black as the guardians of this secret.
Coming up next, shocking details of real men in black encounters.
She felt like they could read her mind, that she couldn't hide anything from them.
All leading to the ultimate proof that will reveal the real men in black in the flesh. You won't believe your eyes. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. The Men in Black. It is only through the strange reports of their victims that we are able to begin to try to understand the true nature of these mysterious beings.
One of the most famous accounts of the Men in Black is probably the 1964 case of Englishman Jim Templeton.
Templeton, a local firefighter in Carlisle, United Kingdom, had recently reported an encounter with what many believe to be an extraterrestrial. On a family outing, Templeton decided to take a photograph of his daughter in an area known as Solway Firth. Taking 3 photos of his daughter alone in the beautiful natural setting, Templeton and his family then went on to enjoy the day. It was only later, when the film was developed, that it became clear this was no ordinary outing. In the second of the 3 photos, a strange and ominous figure is seen standing behind his daughter. The figure appears to be wearing some sort of spacesuit. This would become known worldwide as the Solway Firth Spaceman. But it was what happened after seeing the spaceman that could reveal the existence of the Men in Black.
Shortly after this incident, Jim Templeton was visited by 2 men. They claimed to be from the authorities, quizzed him about the whole incident. These 2 individuals were very smartly dressed and all in black. Furthermore, they referred to themselves by numbers. All of this looked very strange.
The men demand that Templeton take them to the site where the alleged spaceman was photographed.
They took him to the marsh so that he could show them where he took the photo, as if they were investigating what could have happened on the marsh to get that image in the photo. But when Templeton asked the men for identification, they never showed him. All they said was they worked for Her Majesty's government.
Then they asked Templeton a surprising and unsettling question. They want to know where he saw the second spaceman. But Templeton never saw a second spaceman. When he insists there was only one, they become strange and hostile.
Why would they have asked him about a second spaceman? Did they know something Templeton did not know?
The British Ministry of Defense denies ever having investigators on the case. But the very appearance of these men in the United Kingdom seems to dispel the common thought that these investigators are American FBI agents. Just who are the Men in Black? One man may have the answer.
When cases come in, we kind of go through what we call a triage. And that triage, we have different check marks. And so one of those check marks are, for example, multiple witnesses, some type of photo or sketch, preferably a daylight sighting, and most importantly is a credible witness.
Antonio Paris is a former U.S. Army counterintelligence officer, as well as a Department of Defense counterintelligence special agent. As founder and director of the Aerial Phenomena Investigations Team, he has acquired some of the most compelling evidence in the history of Men in Black. Currently, Antonio is investigating a woman who will stop at nothing to seek the truth about one particular man in black. Her father.
This witness, which we'll call Jane Doe, told me about a story that she kept with her entire life. And that story was that her dad was allegedly a Man in Black. Her father would go around to military bases, specifically Army and Air Force bases, and that he would harass the airmen and the soldiers who reported UFOs. And on some occasions, he would threaten them with their lives. She also told the stories about him seeing dead aliens and crashed UFOs.
This woman, who has asked to remain anonymous, wishes only to find answers as to who her father truly was. And to ensure her safety, she waited until his death.
Some of the documents that Jane Doe provided was pictures of her dad in uniform, pictures of her dad in Guam, pictures of her dad allegedly with President Eisenhower serving as a bodyguard, and pictures of her dad also serving in Guam with the 509 bomber group who dropped the first bomb in Hiroshima.
Upon his death, his wife destroys nearly all of his records pertaining to the U.S. government. An official from the government allegedly informs the daughter that she will be tracked for her own protection. Perhaps the risk had something to do with this man's military group, the 509th Composite Group, the same unit as the one stationed at Roswell during the reported UFO crash of 1947.
These are the FBI, the CIA, the Ministry of Defense, whoever it is, going out, finding out what the witnesses know, then making sure they don't talk about it.
This man's story has never been made public until now. But Antonio's evidence of the Men in Black does not end there. Coming up next, what could be cold, hard evidence that the Men in Black are real and could be coming for you?
If this film footage is genuine, Men in Black isn't just a successful Hollywood movie franchise, it's real.
This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. The Men in Black. For decades, they have terrorized UFO witnesses, baffling theorists with stories of their inhuman behavior. But could UFO investigator Antonio Perez finally have proof that could expose the Men in Black as a frightening reality?
One of my most famous cases regarding Men in Black happened in 2008, where two Men in Black visited a hotel up in the Niagara Falls, and we have video footage of them coming in.
Unsealed case file, The Real Men in Black. Niagara Falls, Canada. A hotel manager is outside when he spots a blinding white light above the Niagara River.
What struck me about this case is that they saw a giant black triangle, but more importantly, this black triangle was the size of a football field, and it made no noise, and it just gently hovered over the hotel, and the two witnesses were just at awe at what they saw.
A report is filed with the local UFO investigation group. Days later, when the manager is off duty, another hotel manager receives frightened calls from the hotel staff. They report two bizarre men interrogating people in the hotel lobby.
Eyewitnesses said that these two individuals didn't have eyebrows or eyelashes. They were clean-shaven. They didn't blink.
According to employees, the two men scour the hotel grounds in search of their victim. They are hostile and begin harassing the staff as to the manager's whereabouts. For the quiet woman behind the tour desk, the ordeal becomes too terrifying to handle.
One person said it was like they could read her mind. It's almost like looking straight through into her soul.
Finally, the mysterious men depart. The staff report feeling confused, disturbed, and extremely scared.
This would all just be speculation. Thankfully, the hotel manager thought to go and get the security tape. So now, for the first time, we have evidence of the Men in Black.
This footage is real. It may be the first physical proof of the most elusive figures in the history of UFO investigation. Could these be the real Men in Black?
If you watch this video, you see patrons and workers coming in and out, very casual. But then these two dark figures appear. But watch closely as these two Men in Black enter the building.
It is evidence enough for experts to draw several chilling conclusions.
If you look closely at these two men, you see they are wearing the exact identical outfit. They're also the exact same stature. These guys looked identical.
These are trademark characteristics of the Men in Black, and their presence is clearly felt by onlookers in the video.
As the men enter the building, you see what appears to be a valet or a bellboy go to the left-hand side of frame. Now, as he does this, he's watching these men walk in. He does his business, comes back out, and immediately is looking back to see what these two characters are doing. So obviously, there's some suspicion there from somebody who works at the hotel.
The witness keeps a safe distance from the men. He follows them back in, changing directions. He never takes his eyes off of them. Meanwhile, a young boy looks transfixed as he passes the ominous figures.
So as these men in black walk by out of camera reach, we see a young boy come into frame. He turns, he looks, obviously fascinated at what these people are and what they're doing. Even so much so that when the boy leaves, he turns around and is peering through the glass, trying to figure out, who are these people?
Now, by freezing and enhancing the image, we can reveal exactly what terrified witnesses about these strange beings.
They had no facial hair, large blue eyes, and completely pale skin. But the most frightening thing that the witnesses report is that these men didn't blink once, not once, in the entire time they were there.
It is through this analysis that we can finally answer the question, who are the men in black? But brace yourself. The true face of these dark agents is like nothing you've prepared for. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. This is Unsealed Alien Files. The time to act is now. There are 3 simple steps you can take to unseal the truth.
Follow on Twitter.
Follow the Unsealed Twitter feed to receive breaking news of the latest alien happenings as they develop.
Tell your story.
Have you seen a UFO?
Whatever we encountered affected our memory.
Upload stories and pictures to our interactive map.
Join the movement.
Get the Unsealed bracelet and the unique code hidden underneath to access exclusive content. Stop living in the dark.
It's definitely coming this way.
Get involved in the fight to unseal the truth. Now. The Men in Black. Identical robotic beings cloaked in black with a single motive. For years we have wondered, who are they? But perhaps the question really is, what are they?
Even from the first Men in Black report in the 40s, the idea has always been that these may not just be people working for the government, that they may in fact be extraterrestrials themselves.
Hairless faces, robotic movements, telepathic knowledge. Could these be telltale signs that the Men in Black are extraterrestrial agents here to hide alien knowledge from the public?
Some people have speculated that Men in Black sightings and cases such as the Solway Firth spaceman are proof of aliens among us, shape-shifting aliens, mostly in human form, but sometimes showing their true image.
If these hair-raising visits from the Men in Black continue, our world is in for a rude awakening. One that could result in the complete silence of the human race. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth.